has two great judgments that he brings upon people. When he desires to show his displeasure in the Hebrew scripture era, he has two great weapons that he uses. What are the two great weapons?
Can you ask that again?
When during the Hebrew scripture era, the pre-Christ era, when God is trying to show his judgment against a people, he has two great weapons. What are those two great weapons?
Prophet.
No.
Is that like the pestilence, famine?
So the first is maybe three. The first is famine. So what happens in Egypt? They have that great famine.
That was with Joseph, right?
Yeah. What happens in Elijah's day? What happens in Elijah's day?
But the prophets of Baal? Section?
Before that, it sets up for the confrontation with the prophets of Baal. What happens in Israel during Elijah's day? For 3 years, there will be
No rain.
no rain for 3 years.
What is no rain?
What is no rain?
Dry.
Famine, no crops, nothing for the animals to eat. In those days, it looks like we have so much food in America. You go into a grocery store and it looks like there's so much food. How long is a grocery store stocked for?
3 days.
2 to 3 days. Sum total of what is in that grocery store is sold out every 2 to 3 days. And that's why when you have people go in before a snowstorm or a hurricane, what do you see?
People
just
Nothing.
COVID, empty shelves.
So why? Because people have gone in for a week's worth of buying all at the same time, and all they had was 2 to 3 days. So most people are on a rotation where it's different. People go in on all the different days. So each day gets a seventh of the people. They have 2 to 3 days. So less than half of the people can come in at any one time to buy, and they'll have enough. Everybody rushes in. And guess what? Gone.
Day 5, we're at Luis's house.
Now,
Mhm.
in those days, what do we have today? Refrigeration. How long can you keep fresh things?
Longer.
That'll be.
Week, some stuff, 2, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
Freeze that thing. Eggs, you can keep for a month. 3
months.
Yeah.
How long can you keep eggs in 100-degree temperature?
Fresh eggs?
Fresh eggs?
Not
Day or two at most.
Tried it.
How long can you keep milk at 80 degrees?
Delicious.
Yeah. You've got curdles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not the good tasting kind. what else do we have that they didn't have?
Transportation.
Have food additives,
We have additives,
which destroys people's health.
Mm-hmm.
but also
Which is
keep
why
food.
America is the worst country in the world to eat food out of.
And it's on purpose too.
But what else do we have? We have refrigeration, that will save things for maybe a month,
Oh,
weeks. or-
microwaves, help, like,
What can you buy in the store that's good for
Canned food.
canned
Hold
food?
on, I'm gonna take it back 70 years. The ice box.
But just the
My
idea of
grandmother used to say
canned
The ice
food.
box, it was never the
Root
freezer.
cellar.
It was the ice box.
You know, how long, if I buy a can of green beans, how long can I keep that puppy?
Probably 2 years.
40 years
Yeah,
in reality.
Longer than what it says on the can.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a suggestion date, not an expiration.
4 years is probably pretty safe.
No, you ever
2 years,
watch the show Borders? There was this woman, they said, all this food's expired, these canned food. She said, that's still good. I'm telling you, you can still eat that food.
Yeah.
She was carrying on about, I still eat it.
I just give it to my in-laws when they come over.
down Periscope, the comedy about the submarine, the guy opens up and he sticks his finger, he goes, what is this stuff? He goes, lard. He goes, no, the can says it's green beans. He goes, oh, I thought it tasted a little off for lard.
One of the lines of that movie was, prepare for doom. That's your doom.
But just the simple thing of canned food, they didn't have that. What's the third thing that we have that they didn't? And this is a huge one.
Well, they had salt.
Yep,
Freezers.
rat control. Did they have the kind of rodent control that we have today?
Not at all.
No.
No bee
So-
traps.
What is happening to food that gets stored?
It's protected against that.
Refrigerators.
They get it.
You can't.
Stuff's getting into it, which means not only are they eating it up, but they're also
And
dragging their bodies through it, urinating, defecating in it. So again, how long can they keep food? If you can keep food for the winter months, for their dry season, by the end of the dry season, you're out of food. And if you don't get a harvest, people are gonna die. So the famine, and then what always goes with famine? Pestilence, disease. Because what happens once you have famine?
Eating stuff you probably shouldn't.
You're eating stuff you shouldn't, which allows the rat population to infect a whole bunch of people. What's the other thing, though, that happens once that famine gets going?
Malnourishment.
Everyone's malnourished. People aren't eating properly. What does that do?
weakened your immune system.
Ding, ding, ding. So now what happens?
More
Susceptible.
yeah.
Disease breaks out because of the contamination and people can't resist it. Normally, thank God, I've gone into school. We had all kinds of kids out from getting bugs and flus and things like that. This winter, I have not had that. Why? Because I stay pretty healthy and my body has developed.
Immunity.
Working in the school system,
Yeah.
we're a school system where kids come in from a dozen different school systems. So as a freshman, you're around a whole group of people that you never were around before. Guess what happens to a lot of freshmen?
Everybody there all.
They get sick. My first year at Bankbridge, I had the flu like 6 times. Why? I was around all those kid germs for the first time. Second year was not that good. It got better after that because my body got used to all those germs that they bring in.
Same thing happens with like newborns when you start bringing them into daycares.
Yeah,
Like the 2 to 5, they're just constantly sick.
and the same thing happens in the military. You go overseas and
Mhm.
you have to be really, really careful.
Yeah, acclimatized. They got a word for it.
Yeah, And they give you, and these are not optional.
Yeah, a string of get shots, get shots, get
Get
shots.
get shots, get shots,
Yeah.
get shots,
They give you
because,
word and everything.
so you've got famine, and with that goes pestilence. And then there's the third one. Or the second one, if you put the two of them together. And that is, well, it all leads to death. But what's the third one? War. Invasion. And what does war do in the ancient world?
It takes away a lot of the men, which makes the population go down. There's a lot of widowed wives and
If you don't win the war, what happens? What happens at the end of war?
End up a slavery.
Usually, but before that, you march your army out to meet their army and your army gets beat. What happens?
They come and, take all your,
They come and surround your city and you would fall back, the survivors fall back to the city and they lay
siege.
siege. And what does siege do?
Starve you
Limit
out.
your-
Starve you out, famine,
Yeah.
pestilence. So you've got these two, famine and pestilence really go together. But you've got the third one, which is war. What is the symbol for war? That's right there in Ezekiel. When I send the sword. So what God is saying is, I'm displeased with you and I'm going to punish you. And my punishment basically comes down to famine, which brings pestilence, or war, which brings pestilence.
so this is even in the end times, like the forces.
And when you go to Revelation 6, what does God come back to?
Yeah,
And
but my question is, the arrow, I always thought the arrow was in reference to what Satan's weapon was. That's what my question
So,
was.
but here it's just more generic,
Okay,
that this idea of a sword equals war. When you get into the New Testament, you start to get that fine-tuned distinction. Um,
what about the sword in Deuteronomy? It was too.
there's a verse that most people don't like. Isaiah 45:7. Isaiah 45:7. This is a verse that a lot of people don't like. But we have to, one of the things that we have to do if we want to see God moving is we have to stop apologizing for a bad God that's mistreating good people. We need to understand what the real God is like. What's that say? Isaiah 45:7.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. I remember me coming to you about that because a Jewish guy said to me, God creates evil.
Sure. Now, in what ways is this true?
Egypt. With the plagues.
How does God create evil?
He doesn't.
I think of Job where he allows people to go through things.
Well, first of all, God creates evil because God created,
All things.
Well, free choice, free will.
God created us as people who can choose. Could God have created a world where there was never evil?
Sure.
No free will.
We choose.
He could even give quote unquote free will. And there would never be evil, in a sense. How could he do that?
But he's got-
Basically, that's what he does in the kingdom.
We have the option of choice.
Nope,
You're always choosing the better thing.
because he says he who dies at 100 years of age will be considered accursed. So there will be people who will die during the kingdom. But how is that there's no crime, there's no murder, there's no violence? How do you do that and people still have free will? Quote unquote free will.
I thought there will be crime, but not much, and it'll be taken care of right away, like.
Because God could have created a world where the second you think about committing evil, I'm going to your house to shoot you. Bang, I'm dead before I get there. Did I still have choice? Was I able to commit the crime? I'm going to go in that store and rob it. I walk to the door, I open the door, bang, I'm dead. Flop over on the ground. How much crime would there be?
Not much.
Zero.
Well, everybody thinks because God doesn't strike them down with a lightning bolt, that they can just keep doing.
That they can keep doing. So in a sense, by being merciful, God creates evil.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Being merciful.
It's like a byproduct of his love.
Exactly.
And,
Because the response to God's mercy is very often,
well, there's no consequence, so it's easier for other people to kind of be themselves and do what they want to do
both other people and
yourself.
me. I commit. Do murderers start out by walking up and killing 30 people?
No.
No.
Compromise after compromise.
They build up to it.
compromise.
They hate.
What if they kill puppies and stuff first too sometimes?
Yeah, exactly.
Build
Or
up.
rabbits or.
Yeah.
Hey. I
They
eat those.
torture
Okay,
flies.
talk about that.
They torture flies. Now, are we opposed to killing flies?
It's not.
My father used to pay me 1/4 penny a fly for every fly I killed.
Our rule is if the insect is in our house, we kill it. because This is our house. But if we're outside, we're in their house, so.
No,
What about mosquitoes?
my father was, if they're within the range of my house, they're trying to get in, they're dead.
So they had 20 acres?
I look at if they're breathing my air. they're-
Yeah. But a lot of those people that kill 30 people, that have fingers in the refrigerator, they started by torturing,
Yeah, pulling the wings off.
pulling the wings off of flies to watch them suffer. If God would have struck them dead the second they do that, how many mass murderers would there be?
None.
None. So God's very grace and mercy allows me to escalate in my wickedness. And I infect other people because other people see me doing wickedness and they go, what?
He's not.
That
looks like fun,
He got away with it.
What's our nature to sin? Like I drive differently in Philly than I do in Jersey. I don't drive crazy, but still in Philly, if I'm behind a cop on 95, I'm flashing my high beams. Or in Jersey, like, okay, neutral position. And
Yep.
I'm not, I don't.
More
I'm not-
aggressive, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a different consequence.
Yep.
What I'm doing in Philly, like, they don't care because I'm not going above like 100 or even 90, but
So
try that.
again, mercy often creates the climate for more and more evil because I keep pushing my evil until
You hit that line.
I hit a line where I get a consequence I don't like.
And society goes, whoa, dude, that was pretty messed up. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to get to that point in society
God's-
anymore, but
Yeah.
Patience also said, okay, we need to change the trajectory.
And as parents, what is our responsibility? What is the responsibility? Great thing for parents, grandparents. What is our responsibility with children?
Boundaries,
Discipline.
Yeah.
What is discipline?
habits.
Love.
What is discipline? We need to understand this, when we don't, and that's why we accept the world's thing that, oh, you can't do these things. What is discipline?
Change behavior, modification.
Correct.
Let me put it in a term that the world can understand. Discipline is artificial consequences that teach the lesson without the terrible consequences of natural consequences. What's the natural consequence of running into the street all the time to get a ball?
Yeah.
Or what if you
Being hit by a car, crippled or dead?
Yeah.
So do I kill the child for running into the street?
Oh, no.
Same difference.
I give them artificial consequences like
Timeout.
a timeout,
Blackout.
Time out. My mother gave me a spanking in my
A
life. I still
spanking.
remember it. I was 4.
Timeout corner.
taking away their ball and not letting them play with it for a month. All of these are examples of artificial consequences that replace the disastrous natural consequences. I provide artificial consequences to save them from suffering the natural consequences.
I remember Joey, when he was young, I kept telling him, like, stop running in the house, stop running in the house, hurt yourself, stop running in the house.
Oh,
And I remembered I was asleep, it was like 7 a.m. and Joey came in the room. And you can always hear when there's like a tone, like there's something actually wrong versus like the day to day. And she's like, Joey hit his head on the back of the sofa. And I look and you could see his skull on his forehead. And I said, oh, what's wrong, buddy? Trying to like compose myself, but he stopped running
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well, in the house.
in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's supposed to run outside. He's a boy.
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
where do people who die in the kingdom go if they're considered accursed?
Hell,
Hell.
Wow.
there's gonna be people that are not saved in the kingdom.
Oh.
Children
I
are.
dropped out my car. I know, dude.
How will God stop that from creating crime or problems that afflict the blessed? That'll be the job of the saints in glorified bodies, to show up before evil people can do anything evil to other people and punish them for their evil thoughts before they can make it evil actions. So when it talks about we will judge the world, we will reign with Christ, that will be part of our job, is to be the executioners.
kingdom was heaven.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be like Minority Report, like.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of Minority.
Yeah.
Report, so yeah.
Very much so.
Funny.
There will be instant punishment, not after you commit the act, to stop you from committing the act so that you don't cause suffering for someone else. Yeah,
Wow.
Is that all sins or just sins that affect other people? Because there's a couple sins that that don't affect other people.
why will it be possible to do that without destroying the entire human population?
Because we will be,
Will be just.
that sinning will be harder.
Because there's two groups of people in the kingdom. Who are the two groups of people?
Saved and the unsaved.
No,
Humans and people in glorified bodies.
there will be the saints in glorified bodies, already having been judged and entering into their eternal form. Will it be possible for them to sin?
No.
So they will be the ones who reign with Christ. That's why it says, if we endure with him now, he who endures to the end will be saved. We will reign with him then. But there'll be a second group. Who's the second group?
People that survived the tribulation.
Yeah.
People who survived the tribulation, and they will be in,
Their natural body, but they will be saved, all of them
Not
that
all.
came in,
they will be in fleshly bodies.
but will all of them be saved? Like, the initial people that come in, will they be the saved people?
They will be people who rejected Antichrist.
They didn't get the mark.
They didn't get the mark.
So not necessarily saved.
They will have
Children.
children. And there will be children born throughout that with natural bodies. But what will those natural bodies be? We're not talking the saints and their glorified bodies now.
They'll be
That's settled.
Will they be sent?
No.
No, they will be, they won't be inclined to sin.
They will be what kind of bodies?
Like Adam and Eve?
Yes, they will be Garden of Eden bodies.
All right, so what about the people that were born on earth that survived the tribulation? I mean, they'll think one bad thought, but then they'll be thrown in.
Oh,
No, this
what
Jesus
will,
says that you hate your brother, you committed murder, so I'm like,
what will
I'm trying to
happen?
park on my parking
What will
spot.
happen? What will happen to those people during those 45 days?
How would any of them make it? Are they all gonna think something bad?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to them? Their natures will be changed as well, not to be glorified, but they will be
Innocent.
restored to innocence.
Hmm.
So today, what's down here?
Sin,
Sin. What's up here?
Righteous.
being good.
Righteousness, God, obedience. What do we have to do to try to get up there?
Work.
It's a struggle every day, right?
Mm.
What happens if we step on one little banana peel?
Right, to go to start,
Yeah. What was that thing from Candyland?
shoots and ladders.
Chutes and ladders. Yeah, there you go. I think Candyland had that too. Return to start.
Oh, yeah,
Must have been
yeah.
absent then, but remember that.
The gumdrop forest.
Yeah,
Going up and down, up and down.
that's, but what was the Garden of Eden like?
It was the other
It's
way.
the exact opposite.
It was the exact opposite.
Hard.
God was down here, sin was up here. It was hard to get Eve and Adam into sin. Satan had to work the overtime at it. What happens as people enter the kingdom? We're like this. They're changed back to that Edamic nature.
Plus, the devil won't be there to tempt anybody.
And Satan will not be there to tempt. But it's not just the lack of external temptation, it's the changed nature inside.
But will all the people that enter in, you said, even if they just resisted Antichrist, so there could be unsaved coming
It
in?
doesn't specify, so I'm not going to give an answer to that because there's not a verse that says that other than you visited those who were afflicted, you hid those who were running from Antichrist. Therefore, you are going in as a sheep, not a goat. How specific is that? It's not specific enough to say this line, this line. Basically, those who were on Antichrist side and those who weren't.
And you're saying that 45 days is that period, so it.
Where the earth is
So-
not only renewed, but people's lives are changed back to that Edemic. And for the Jewish people.
But do
what
they
does
know
that-
why? Like, do you wake up, you're like, oh, I feel pretty
Oh,
good
yeah.
today? Or like, they know why?
Sure.
Why?
Right.
Because Zechariah says what? You will look upon,
The one you have, pierced.
looked upon the one
Yeah.
that you have pierced, and you will mourn as though for an only child or an
Zechariah
eldest
12.
son. That's Zechariah 12, yes.
Yes. Mhm.
That when they see those who have not hated God see Christ, it'll hit them. Oh. And for us, that doesn't change our state. We still have a sinful nature. But at some point during that point, before they enter into the kingdom, that's why Daniel says what? Blessed is he who makes it to the 1335 days. That 45 days later, during that blessing, they will be the ones who are at peace with God because their nature has been changed.
And then after that's the rapture? Or is that how?
That's after the return of Christ in glory.
Okay.
Right after,
Whew, yeah.
7 years after.
So at that point, who will sin?
Just the reprobates.
The people who, like Adam and Eve, absolutely rebel, who choose, I'm not gonna follow this program. Now, by the end of the 1,000 years, what has happened?
See?
Most of the people who are there at the end of the 1,000-year kingdom, what are they?
Squared away.
They're new. They were born in the time period.
They're people who were born during the kingdom. What have they never experienced?
Sin.
They've never experienced sin. Anyone who sinned was done away with instantly. They have also never faced a genuine
Choice.
Repentance.
choice.
Yeah.
They have always done what came naturally.
So it's like being born into church, really.
Yeah.
You're being born into a
But
Christian
even
family.
more so, you've been born into
A perfect Christian family.
a perfect, you've been born into the Garden of Eden. And just like Adam and Eve, what's going to happen at the end of the tribulation? The end of the kingdom, I mean.
They will have a choice.
Satan is loosed.
Yeah,
And all those people who've never faced a choice
will follow him.
will have a choice. And what will be the choice of a vast number of them?
Be deceived.
They'll march against Jerusalem saying, we want this new guy, Jesus. We've had 1,000 years of this stupid peace. We're tired of peace. We want excitement.
The vast majority will, I didn't realize that would.
Well, look at what it says.
You find. Right? Many.
It's always been the.
You. It's always been- it's always-
Revelation 20,
You're not gonna be 1,000 years old, so not my problem. I'm so glad we're a part of the family of God.
7. Revelation 20, verse 7. When the 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them for battle. In number they are.
Like the sand to the seashore.
Well, this sort of, so that basically the end of the world is at least 1,000 years away. Like we go to,
Oh, yeah.
oh, the
Yeah.
end of the world, the end of the world, the
The
end of
end
the
of the
world.
world's not-
Well, guess what? Jesus is coming back and all that. That's all well and good. But the end of the world itself is at least, if it happened today, would be 1,000 years away.
They marched across the breadth of the earth and
Now,
surrounded the
7.
camp of God's people, the city he loves. Does that sound to you like it's a small proportion?
Mighty army.
Sounds to me like it's a massive group.
Okay. It's amazing that somebody will still.
That to me is the most incomprehensible verse in the Bible.
What was it?
27
The
Revelation.
20, actually it's 20 verse 8. Yeah. In number, they are like the sand of the seashore.
What verse or verses are referring to like that Minority Report where the saints will actually stop the
That goes back to Isaiah. Now you're pushing me.
Yeah, that was my question, is like, how do we know, or where does it say that when somebody has an evil thought, they're instantly judged? That whole thing.
Isaiah 65, 20.
Why should we even care?
Well, because God's told us about it, so it must be important. I plan to be here.
I think it teaches us, I mean, it shows that, even if we recreate Adam and Eve again, they'll still do it again. They'll still sin.
Well, they did it first time, but that's all improved. You need.
Yeah.
It's like.
I agree.
Replicate.
And yet God made us anyway and died for us anyway.
Verse
Is that amazing?
20, Isaiah 65, 20.
Big pig heads.
Never again will there be in it an infant who lives but a few days or an old man who does not live out his years. So what is that saying?
There's no death, and the wages of sin
No,
is death.
not no death. There will be no
Accidental or horrible death.
natural death. No one will die from natural causes, accidents, things like that.
No, we all die from natural causes. No one will die from accidents or murder or a crime.
Or natural causes. People will age far more slowly. They can live out those whole 1,000 years.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Methuselah.
Yeah. So we're going back to the Garden of Eden where you can live in your natural body for
So a hundred.
effectively.
That sounds
Year old
hard.
is like a 20-year-old.
No, more like 100-year-old is like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I hate being me now. I hate that for
Yeah, but it's a
1,000
different
years.
environment.
Oh,
But
but
if-
see,
if
but
you-
then it goes on and says, he who dies at 100 will be thought a mere youth. Will there be people who die?
Yes.
So now we've got to figure out why is it that people die?
Because people are still stupid and want to climb a ladder and say, what's
He
this?
who fails to reach 100 years will be considered unlucky. Is that what it says?
What verse are you in?
Isaiah 65, verse 20.
Considered accursed.
They will be considered. Why did they die?
That they did something stupid.
They did something.
Not they did something
Fine.
stupid.
Obedience.
They disobeyed God. They died because of disobedience. They were accursed.
You have done 66 in a 65 zone. Prepare for termination.
No,
It is,
but the next verse, they will build houses and dwell in them and plant vineyards and eat of them. No longer will they build houses and others live in them or plant and others eat. For the days of a tree, so will be the days of my people. My chosen ones will long enjoy the work of their hands. They will not toil in vain. Their children doomed of misfortune. They will be a people. What's the only way that you can have no one ever have stuff stolen from or killed or otherwise?
Everybody's going to have. It's like that perfect socialist system.
as soon as it happens, it's punished.
People have to be stopped from their sin because it says people will be killed for their sin. They will be considered, but their sin will never hurt someone else. What's the only way that my sin can't hurt someone else?
It never lost
If you never come, yeah,
I have to be stopped immediately
before it starts, or,
from before that sin can spread to someone else.
so you.
Because who suffers the most in divorce?
The kids.
Children.
The kids. Who suffers the most? Who suffers from shoplifting?
The people that are paying for everything.
Everybody else.
So-
They raised the price.
Because they raise the prices.
And lock everything up in glass so you can't
Yep.
get to it. You gotta wait 45 minutes for deodorant.
Yep,
So anybody who doesn't pray, it's not the letter of the law, it's the spirit of the law.
it's anyone who gives in to sin in any measure, because again, they've been made in the spirit of Adam and Eve, where they do not have that sin nature that we all have. They are not pulled to sin like all of us are. They don't have those evil thoughts naturally because that's how we were born. We don't have to fight against sin every minute of the day.
And yet we still pick it.
Now, the thing is the children, what, in the original type, the sin was passed down from the mother and father. So even when they have children, the sin will not be passed down.
That the children will be born without
Innocent,
that sin
innocent.
nature. They will be
Yeah.
born innocent like people would have been born in the Garden of Eden. Now, from that, we know people are killed for sin. They're accursed, but their sin doesn't affect other people or damage other people. So someone must be bringing judgment. Now you go to Timothy.
But they're still damaging themselves.
Well, by being killed, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, isn't it that death hasn't been destroyed yet too? Isn't that?
correct.
Isn't that why people die during the, millennial reign? Because
I don't know.
it hasn't been eliminated yet?
2 Timothy 2,
Second.
verse 11 and verse 11 and 12.
2 Timothy 2, 11 and 12.
Yeah.
Here is a trustworthy saying, if we die with him, we will also live with him. If we endure, we will also reign with him.
So what will we be doing?
Raining.
Now, Jesus told a story about reigning. What was the story? He sold two separate ones that are very similar but not identical. Luke 19, Matthew 25 said there was a king that was going on, a rich man who was going off to be made king. He brought in his servants. He gave them, in the one it's
E-T-E.
Mine, and the other it is
Talent.
talents. Minaes are a little money, a day's wages. Talents are a year's wages. That's irrelevant. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is the reward. What to those who are faithful with what he gave them, what does he say to them in both parables?
Well done, I'm gonna give you more.
My good and faithful.
Which is not in all of them. But what does he say? You have been faithful in a little thing, I will give you more. To the one who had 10, he said, you've been faithful with 5 and brought back 10, become the ruler of
Many.
10 cities. To the one who brought back 2, he said, you become the ruler of 2 cities. What will be the job of the saints in that kingdom? To rule over in perfect righteousness over the world. That perfect righteousness has to therefore include
Killing.
removing anyone whose sins before their sin infects other people.
By the sword.
So they'll kind of read their mind, it sounds like, yeah. And it sounds like the difference between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law.
Well, I don't know that we'll have to read their minds, but who is going to be the king of all the world? Christ.
Oh, well, eventually.
In the kingdom. Who's going to be the king of all the world? And so what does he do when somebody is,
So in case.
So they would entertain the thought.
I have it on my key ring
Right.
and I have.
and the king can dispatch his
Yeah, thank you.
other rulers to deal with the issue.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So they entertain the thoughts.
Now, again, I'm just trying to pull together scriptures to make it make sense. But it's all there in scripture.
Hey,
Wait, are you done? Are you dismissing everybody?
God bless, God bless, God
I
bless.
gotta tell you something happened. I can't let it involve you. It involved you, right? I'm at the synagogue yesterday. But this is the table. It's a huge table, but a lot bigger. But imagine,
And they have the dinner.
it's the dimensions of this. Rabbi sitting up there. I always sit here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right here. I can actually see everybody else here.
Project.
And there's a guy next to me here. They use what they
Hey,
call
Mike.
the cloud version. Oh, sorry, Jeff. They use what they call the cloud. That is a commentary on the Tanakh.
Right.
Right, so they have the book,